This is very
By a
dangerous.
landslide.
By a landslide. This is a dangerous one for Jake.
He needs to do it, though.
This is a dangerous fight for Jake. The kid has got balls the size of Manhattan.
Davis! 135 pounds.
People are that I'm sparring and being able to see how good they are and knowing how good Tank is, it's actually going to be my toughest test to date.
Logan Paul hasn't held back his concern about his brother Jake stepping into the ring with a reinvented Gervonta "Tank" Davis, calling it one of the most dangerous and defining challenges of Jake's career. He notes how Davis has completely transformed, stronger, sharper, and far more evolved than most fans realize. Logan even draws from his own experience with Floyd Mayweather Jr., saying that Davis now moves with that same blend of speed, precision, and calculated brilliance that defined Mayweather's prime. What once looked like a clear advantage for Jake, Logan warns, could turn upside down the second the punches start landing. And that's why his concern feels real, not just as a brother, but as someone who knows exactly how brutal the ring can be.
Gervonta Davis has been confirmed. Guys, this fight is actually happening. Jake is a plus 155 underdog going into the fight and taking the biggest risk he's ever taken. It's going to be on Netflix. Now, this fight I will watch.
This one's crazy.
Please give me the weight. Please give me the fucking weight.
It's an exhibition. There is no weight.
There'll be no guidelines.
There'll be agreed weight.
A range?
Yeah, there'll be agreed weight in the contract. It has to be.
For Jake to come down.
Correct.
What will it be?
It'll probably be 195, maybe 200.
Still.
Bro,
Still.
how is that possible?
I mean, bro, I did it with Floyd. You guys don't understand. Exhibitions are a real thing now. As long as people are watching, that's the metric.
Yes.
You know how
can
tall?
figure
You know how tall Gervonta is?
I think he's like 5'5".
Not even.
He's probably 5'4".
Bro, okay, but look, you want to know what's going to happen in that fight? Because I'll tell you too.
Tell us.
Because I did the same thing. I fought a really crafty, much smaller fighter. His name was Floyd Mayweather.
He's a young Floyd. Protege of Floyd.
In the prime, in his prime.
Yes.
Well, close, right?
No, Gervonta's, I think he's still in his prime.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I would, bro.
This is a different fight than you and Floyd.
This is very
By a
dangerous.
landslide.
By a landslide. This is a dangerous one for Jake.
He needs to do it, though.
This is a dangerous fight for Jake. The kid has got balls.
Some analysts are starting to question the weight dynamics heading into the Gervonta Davis vs. Jake Paul showdown. Normally, Davis fights around 135 pounds and walks in much lighter, but a few insiders believe he could weigh in closer to 160 for this one. That kind of leap, roughly 25 pounds above his usual division, would narrow the size gap and could actually boost his power-to-weight balance. And if that's true, it doesn't just level the playing field, it makes this fight a whole lot more dangerous for Jake Paul.
Most concerned about with Gervonta Davis is we know big exhibition coming up November 14th. We are going to do a live stream watch party for that. I don't know in what way, but we got to make it special. You guys know when I do these watch parties, they are insane. We want to have some guests. We may do a 24-hour. I'm not sure. Leave in the comments what you want to see, but we may be seeing the formulation of a game plan and tactics from this training footage from Gervonta Davis. And I think I may understand the key of what they want to do, how they want to go about it, and why Jake Paul might be in more trouble than I originally thought. What do I mean? The breakdown. Let's go.
He is the star of Wade Concept.
All right, so Calvin Ford, coach for Gervonta Davis, has been for pretty much since Gervonta started boxing. Sat down with Marcos over at Fight Hub. Shout out to Marcos for the footage, man. He's always killing the game with interviews and everything else. He sat down with Marcos, and they talked about Tank and potentially what he will do after the Jake fight, why he's doing the Jake fight, and what their biggest concerns are, which your biggest concerns end up being what you turn into your biggest weapons. The things you're most concerned about, you look to exploit because that's usually the other person's greatest strength, and behind it's their greatest weakness. So I'm going to take a look at this interview and show you guys why I think Jake might actually be in a little more trouble than I originally thought with this fight, and why I'm going to be more excited to see what Tank brings if the mindset is where I think it is.
So how are we with everything, man? How's Tank been?
In a good headspace, great headspace.
Showbiz the Adult made it clear that Tank Davis isn't the lightweight many picture in their heads. In truth, he's built compact and solid, with muscle packed into a frame designed for raw power. That's what allows him to unleash such explosive force, even against taller opponents. Showbiz also emphasized that Davis's natural strength gives him a physical edge, even over fighters who appear bigger on paper. His conditioning, balance, and mastery of distance let him land knockout shots with terrifying precision. So calling him small misses the point. Tank may fight in the lower divisions, but he carries the body and the power of a man built for much heavier wars.
Can yield that type of weight. He's a bowling ball. He ain't a little guy like you guys say. The Tanky Wanky say he's a little guy. But I got more receipts. Do you guys remember 2 years ago against Mario Barrios to make 140? He was coming down in weight.
144.1.
Weighing in at 144 plus. Huh? I even got more receipts for you guys. Remember against Ryan Garcia, right? You saw him stacking on snacky cakes and all kind of Skittles and shit, for the all access with him versus Ryan Garcia. I think this was like episode 2 or something. It was hilarious. But he goes in the store and they have to weigh him. And in that store, he weighs 150 pounds.
Good, thank you.
How much I weigh?
154.
154?
Yes, sir.
All right, weigh me one more time.
All right, 150.
150? What are they doing? All right, bet.
And then the most famous audio leak that the War Room made famous that we sent out and it went viral when Team Tank said that Gervonta Tank Davis walks around at 160 pounds.
He ain't gonna never want to fight at 135 again. He will, but I'm saying. That's such a big company, man. This is walk around weight. No. Walk around? Like just, you know what I mean? 160? Well, he get up big, but like...
British boxer Dave Allen shared a more grounded and fair view of the matchup. He admits he never cared for Jake Paul's bouts with Mike Tyson or Julio Cesar Chavez Jr., seeing them more as publicity acts than real contests. But this fight with Gervonta Davis, he says, feels different. Allen believes that as long as nobody gets seriously hurt, it's all good, it's entertainment meant to thrill the fans. He acknowledges Jake might not be an elite boxer, but his fights spark the kind of buzz that keeps the sport alive. People are curious, just how far can Jake really go, and how will Tank deal with a man that much bigger?
The thing with Jake Paul, I think he's a good area title level fighter, and that's a good level, and you can be proud of it. Do you know what I mean? It's good, but the Mike Tyson fight I didn't like. The Chavez fight was just farcical because he's 11 years past his best, up 6 weight divisions. But less of a problem, because Chavez wasn't in his 50s. Fighting the MMA guys, again, he's fighting people that don't do the same, they're not even in the same sport. But while they're a bit older, they're still not in the 50s. So all that stuff, I won't really watch any of it. I think I've watched one fight against Tommy Fury, the only professional boxer in and around his prime years, and he got beat. But I think his area title level, I think he works really hard, I think he trains hard, and I don't think he's a bad fighter at all. I don't think he's a good fighter, but he's not a bad fighter. For his experience, he's not bad at all. But Gervonta Davis is a lightweight. So, by all means, if they make a few quid and nobody gets hurt, then great. But I certainly wouldn't be paying a penny to watch it. I think it's just absolutely ridiculous, farcical. Who wants to watch an exhibition? Gervonta Davis is in his prime years. Why is he wasting his time? Why is he having a rematch for the fella he got a draw with? Why is he not fighting? Why is he not going up a weight and fighting Lopez and Garcias and them fighters? Why is he fighting?
Claressa Shields has voiced sharp concerns about Gervonta Davis's next move, especially with his high-profile clash against Jake Paul now on the horizon. She questions why Davis would even hint at retirement at this stage, arguing that if he truly sees himself among boxing's elite, he should be chasing names like Shakur Stevenson and Teofimo Lopez. Shields and others believe that by sidestepping those marquee fights, Davis risks looking like he's avoiding real competition in favor of big-money crossover events. Still, some insiders note that Davis has been carrying heavy mental and emotional weight in recent years, pressures that might be shaping his choices far more than the public understands.
Nobody say, Gervonta got skills out this world. He's a scary dude. He's scary. Ain't no way he said he's supposed to come back and get Shakur, Devin, Ryan, Tiafimo, whoop all these ass. Now he like, I'm about to retire after I fight Jake. No, I don't let nobody talk about me like that. The way that Shakur disrespect him, the way that Devin talked to him, the way that Ryan, he already knocked out Ryan. The way that these dudes be talking, he supposed to come back and get them. He the man, right? He who everybody say is the best. I ain't leaving no food on the table. When I'm done boxing, I'm whooping all these girls. They all getting beat. You said you can beat me? Oh, okay, I'm gonna figure out a way to get you.
Robert Garcia brings a seasoned, thoughtful perspective to Gervonta Davis's decision to face Jake Paul. He doesn't condemn the fight outright, but he does question the timing. In Garcia's view, true legends usually take on the spectacle bouts only after they've secured their legacy through career-defining wars. For Davis, those legacy fights, against top names like Shakur Stevenson or Devin Haney, are still waiting to be written. From where Garcia stands, this matchup feels more like a flashy detour than a genuine step toward greatness. By choosing showmanship over substance, Davis risks blurring how purists view his place in the sport. To Garcia, it feels less like turning the next page, and more like skipping one entirely.
For something like that, but I don't know, what's your just take on the whole thing?
I'm not very interested. That doesn't excite me. I know it's going to do really good numbers. I know they're making a lot of money, which is good for them, good for Tank, because in boxing, that's what everybody looks for. I think is, the good thing is they announced it as an exhibition, which is, I'm okay with it. Everybody does it. Mayweather has done it. Ali did it. The only thing, my personal opinion is Tank, they all did it when they had already accomplished so much. They already did so much. Mayweather did everything in boxing and accomplished everything. Muhammad Ali did the same, and many others that have done it. I think Tank never gave us the fights that we really wanted, never really gave us those challenges. He never really challenged himself. He didn't give Rhodes that rematch, which he should have. Mayweather did it when he had a hard time with Maidana and Castillo. Right away, he did the rematches to prove everybody wrong, and look at what he did. He beat them clearly. So Tank should have done the same. He didn't. That I could criticize, but then at the end also, if you're making 30 to 50 million, I don't even know what he's making to fight, to have an exhibition against just Jake Paul, I would have asked. I would do the same.
No one would say no to that, right?
If I had one of my fighters get an offer to fight a big celebrity, a big YouTuber for $20-30 million, I would probably do the same. So I don't blame him. It's boxing. At the end of his career, 20 years from now, nobody's gonna care of how many belts he won.
Meanwhile, Charleston White completely dismisses Jake Paul's boxing career, calling it nothing more than entertainment dressed up as sport. He argues that none of Jake's fights have carried the authenticity of a true professional bout. They're staged events built to pull views and cash, not to prove skill. In his eyes, Jake has yet to face a genuine top-tier boxer capable of testing his limits. Charleston's words echo the frustration of many boxing purists who see Jake as someone gaming the system, using boxing as a platform for fame rather than mastery. He insists that if Jake ever steps in against someone like Gervonta Davis, the gap in class will be glaring. Davis's conditioning, reflexes, and experience against world champions would quickly expose Jake's lack of depth. To Charleston, popularity means nothing in the ring, because exhibitions might sell tickets, but only real fights build legends.
And Charleston White gave his review and what he thought about the Gervonta Davis and Jake Paul fight. And what he said was, look, man, do not pick against Jake Paul because he didn't believe that any of the fights that Jake Paul have had to date really have been a real thing. And that the boxing world is looking for that great WHITE hype. And Jake Paul is going to be that guy, even though he really can't do it in a real boxing match. So he was basically reflecting and saying that he, the saying where they say, believe a half of what you hear, half of what you see and none of what you hear. He adjusted it to say, don't believe anything you hear and anything you say, anything that you hear and anything that you see. And honestly, man, when it comes to internet boxing, YouTube boxing, and what people say is going on in the media, without a doubt, I think Charleston White is 100% right about that. don't believe anything you hear. Don't believe anything you see. Wait to see how things play out. And ultimately, everything will come out in the wash. Well, going into this fight with Gervonta Davis, I had my concerns about the fight because of the same type of reasoning that Charleston White used, except for mine is slightly different. I don't think that either one of these guys are going to try to do too much damage to each other. Number one, because if it's scripted, which more than likely to an extent it will be, Gervonta Davis is not going to put himself in a situation where Jake Paul is going to actually...
However, not everyone is convinced that Tank Davis can actually beat Jake Paul. Some analysts are calling for realism, reminding fans that weight classes exist for a reason. They admit Tank's power and explosiveness are unmatched at lightweight and super featherweight, but stepping in against a naturally bigger man like Jake changes the entire equation. Boxing, after all, is a sport ruled by physics. A 135-pound fighter taking on someone who walks around at over 190 is up against serious disadvantages in reach, strength, and endurance. These analysts warn that Tank's punches might not carry the same damage against a man of Jake's size, and even when they land clean, Jake's heavier frame might just soak them up in a way lighter fighters never could.
We want to know, who will win in this fight? Jake Paul or Tank Davis? It's a legit question. And I actually want to really hear your thoughts on who do you think is going to win. Because I know what Vegas is saying, but I want to know what you think. You got
Personally, I think Tank too little, bro.
Yo,
I think Tank too little.
I'm so glad you have a brain on your fucking shoulder.
I think Tank too little.
I said, bro.
I think Tank's too little. That's what I'm saying. That weight class is for a reason.
Davis
that weight class is for a reason.
5'5", 135 pounds. Jake Paul is 6 feet, 205 pounds.
That's what I'm saying.
Dog.
He's too
6'1",
little.
205. Everybody's like, yeah, bro, but Tank it only takes one good punch. Yes, it takes one good punch when you're about the same size. There's a 60, 70-pound difference in weight in these people. I don't think nobody puts the physics in mind. Jake Paul gets punched in the face by dudes 200 pounds with all their might on a weekly basis. A 135-pound puncher, bro. If y'all remember the Mayweather versus Conor McGregor fight, Conor walks around like 180 on the regular. He's like 5'9", 180. Mayweather's like 5'7", 145. That 30-pound, 20, 30-pound difference, bro, if you remember that fight, Mayweather was putting mittens on Conor. Guess what happened to Conor? He didn't hit the ground once.
No.
He lasted all 12 rounds getting hit with flurries. I'm talking about Mayweather was having his time. He's being cocky with it, hitting him with all kind of combos. And we're watching the last 3 rounds of that shit like, yo, knock him out. And you know what? He could not knock him out because Conor gets punched by people that are 170, 180 pounds on a regular. And just that 20, 30-pound difference, it was like impossible for him to do anything. And that's exactly what I feel like.
Despite all the doubts, a lot of fans still find Jake Paul's presence in boxing downright entertaining. The fight has sparked both backlash and buzz, adding a layer of curiosity that the sport hasn't felt in a while. Some purists write it off as nothing more than a cash grab, but others see it as fresh energy injected into a fading scene. Jake has that rare ability to make people feel something, whether they cheer for him or can't stand him. Whenever his name is on a poster, the spotlight follows. Fans tune in not just to watch him win, but to see if this is the night he finally falls. That unpredictability makes boxing feel alive again. Even the traditionalists quietly admit it. Jake's involvement brings drama, tension, and personality to a sport that's been craving exactly that, even if his skills are still catching up to his fame.
Said, oh, this is bad for boxing, this is bad for boxing. Mate, calm down, calm down. Honestly, I'm not a big fan of him, but he's bringing a lot of eyes to boxing. A lot of eyes to boxing. He's doing great for boxing. I don't care what everyone thinks. The weight difference is mad though. Lightweight to, God knows, cruiserweight or whatever the hell he is. Oh, Gervonta might get thumped up, you know. Hey! If he gets bashed up, I can never go on TikTok live again. The TikTok warriors are going to give me a hard time. They're going to say Jake Paul's undisputed. Oh my God, he's the best thing since.
At the same time, Gervonta Davis's story isn't just about sporting glory, it's about survival. Growing up in West Baltimore, surrounded by neglect, foster homes, and the absence of his parents, he found boxing not as a hobby, but as a lifeline out of the chaos. He still remembers the nights he slept outside the gym, the fights on the corner, and the constant threat of violence closing in around him. Even with fame, fortune, and world titles, that fear of slipping back drives him every single day. It's what fuels his discipline, his focus, his fight. For Davis, every punch thrown is a statement, a reminder that his past will never define him. This upcoming clash with Jake Paul isn't just spectacle versus legitimacy, it's a turning point in Davis's journey. With his legacy still being written and veteran voices like Robert Garcia warning that the timing feels off, one question looms large: will this fight lift Davis to new heights, or quietly chip away at how the purists see him? Because for Davis, the real risk isn't just in the ring, it's in what comes after.
I like, when it's all said and done and when you guys go off, they go into the next man. So if y'all can make a big payday, go get that payday. The sport of boxing don't love you. And that's the problem with this sport. It's like what Jake Paul did, man, it's crazy, but people getting paid off of it.
Yeah.
So if he can call any one of y'all out and y'all can get that payday, I say go get it, baby. I'm not mad at it.
For me, and I'm not mad at this move at all for Tank Davis, but I think when it comes to boxing fans, there's an essence that comes with this sport, and it's an essence that hasn't been lost.
What do you think? Is Gervonta Davis making a bold, strategic move by taking this fight now, or is he jumping ahead and skipping a vital chapter in his story? Drop your thoughts below and let the debate begin.